Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. My name is Nurlaika binti Roslim in number metric 287601 and run the smartest guys in the room. This documentary is released in 2005 that examines the collapse of the Enron Corporation. Enron is an energy commodities company, and Enron was found through the merger of Houston Natural Gas and Internox. In the middle of 1990s, Enron expanded into other commodity trading under the leadership of CEO Kenneth Lay and other top executives. Enron was involved in several unethical practices in its management that caused in 2001 its collapse due to billions of dollars in debt. The documentary provides a comprehensive look at the rise and fall of Enron and the key individuals involved in the company's unethical practice that led to one of the biggest corporate failures in US history. Okay, next I will go to the unethical issue that led to Enron's downfall. The first issue is accounting fraud and manipulation. This is one of the major ethical violations at Enron was widespread use the misleading and deceptive accounting practice to inflate the company's report earnings and profit. Enron Chief Financial Officer Andrew Fausto orchestrated a complex web of social purpose entities (SPEs) and special purpose vehicle (SPV) to hide the company mounting debts and losses. These creative accounting techniques allow Enron to keep large liability of its balance sheets and reporting inflate earnings to investors and the public. Next, the second unethical issue that happened in Enron Corporation is energy market manipulation. Enron also engaged in an unethical practice to manipulate the energy market for its own financial gain. The documentary highlights the company involvement in 2000 until 2001 in California energy crisis, in which Enron was accused of artificially rising electricity price through practices such as megawatt laundering and dead star strategies. This manipulative tactic caused significant harm to consumer and business in California, which has led to power outage and skyrocketing energy price. The third unethical issue that happened in Enron Corporation is corporate culture of greed and unethical behavior. In this documentary, it portrayed that Enron's corporate culture as one that rewarded and encouraged unethical behavior, including aggressive risk-taking, fraud, and prioritizing personal financial gain over the welfare of employees, customers, and the wider community. The company ran and grab performance review system, which forced the layoff of certain percentage of employees each year, contributes to a brutal and unethical work environment. Next, lack of supervision and accountability is one of the unethical issues that happened in Enron Corporation. This documentary also highlights the failure of Enron's board of directors, external auditor, which is Arthur Andersen, and regulatory agency to provide effective oversight and hold the company accountable for its unethical practice. The board of directors, which is include prominent figures such as former U.S. Treasury Secretary Robert Rubin and former of U.S. Senator Phil Gramm, was largely involved in corporate misconduct and failed to adequately protect the interests of shareholders and other stakeholders. Arthur Andersen, Enron's external auditor, was also involved in accounting fraud, as firm was involved in destruction of documents related to Enron investigation and eventually lost its own accounting license as a result of the scandal. Regulatory agencies such as Security and Exchange Commission (SEC) was criticized for not taking sufficient action to prevent or address unethical practice at Enron. Based on the unethical issue that happened in Enron Corporation that I had present just now, I will suggest a few ways to prevent this unethical issue from happen again, which is the first one is by strengthening accounting standards and oversight. To avoid the use of the book vehicles and other creative accounting practice that allow companies to hide liabilities and increase earnings, policymakers should implement stricter accounting standards and transparency requirements. In addition, increasing the independence and accountability of external auditors through measures such as mandatory auditor rotation, increased oversight, and tougher penalty for complexity and fraudulent activity is essential. Regulatory agencies such as Security and Exchange Commission (SEC) should be empowered to conduct more rigorous and frequent audits of public traded companies, focusing on identifying potential accounting irregularities and fraud. Importantly, the development of the corporate culture that prioritizes ethical behavior and financial transparency, where employees are incentivized to report any suspected unethical practice without fear of retaliation, must be encouraged. Next, the second suggestion to avoid unethical issues in the company is by strengthening corporate governance and accountability. To ensure effective oversight of the company's operation and management, it is important that Board of Directors is completely independent and has the necessary expertise and resources. Clear guidelines for director independence, including restriction on personal or financial relationships between directors and company executives, should be implemented. Furthermore, the inclusion of independent directors with diverse backgrounds and perspectives on corporate board will foster about robust discussion and challenge the status quo. Empowering shareholders by increasing their ability to nominate and elect directors as well as vote on key corporate decisions that may affect their interests is also important. Finally, establishing a clear and enforceable code to conduct that hold executive and directors accountable for unethical behavior with meaningful consequences for violence such as financial penalty, suspension, or dismissal will strengthen corporate governance and accountability. The third suggestion to avoid this unethical issue is by regulating energy market manipulation. To prevent energy companies from engaging in the market manipulation tactics, which can artificially raise prices and harm consumers and businesses, regulation and enforcement mechanisms must be strengthened. Regulatory agencies should be empowered to closely monitor energy trading activities and immediately intervene to address any suspected manipulative practice. Significant financial penalties and criminal sanctions should be imposed on companies and individuals found guilty on energy market manipulation, serving as deterrents to such unethical behavior. Encouraging the development of a more transparent and competitive energy market with clear rules and safeguards to protect consumers and promote fair competition is an important step in this direction. The last step to avoid unethical practice in the company is by fostering a culture and ethical leadership. The importance of ethical leadership and decision making at highest level of corporate management, starting with CEO and top executive, cannot be disputed. A robust leadership development program that focuses on applying a strong ethical framework, fostering a sense of social responsibility, and prioritizing long-term sustainability of the organization over short-term financial gain should be implemented. Additionally, revising the executive compensation structure in incentive ethical behavior and discourage excessive risk-taking or manipulation of financial metrics for personal gain will play an important role in fostering a culture of ethical leadership. Finally, companies should be encouraged to adopt employee training programs that educate all the staff on the importance of ethical behavior, the consequence of unethical behavior, and the availability of whistleblower protection, further strengthening the organization's commitment to ethical practice. That's all from me. Thank you.